Or girl?
A kind man, you have to be kind to yourself first, because that way then you can be kind to me. Someone who's well educated and well read, basically, if you don't know where Kenya is, that's a problem. If you don't know where the Philippines is, that's a problem, you know? So I just need people who know more than their surroundings.
So if a man doesn't know his geography, that's a problem. He doesn't know the difference between an isthmus and an island, that's a problem. He doesn't know what a peninsula is, that's a problem.
There's a lot of Americans here in the Philippines, so even after traveling so far from the US to come to the Philippines, are still a bit rough around the edges in terms of their knowledge. I think most of them are probably in the army or this used to be a US base at some point. There was a US base here. So when I meet the Americans, they are not very well read. There's many other nationalities here, so you'd find.
And there we go, throwing shots at Americans. We think that we're not well read. No, usually those that come to the Philippines have a bunch of money and really don't care. Now it was a little jab, like saying the Americans over here that come to the Philippines are kind of stupid. No, they're not. They just don't want to deal with you, probably. Now, because you work for the United Nations, this is what I mean. I love this example. Now we are beneath your shoe. We are bubblegum underneath your feet.
Other nationalities are more, whether it's British, whether it's Europeans, they are more well versed. So I need someone like that. And also, it's because of the nature of my work. The nature of my work and just the nature of the people I hang around with. You're hanging around with a lot of diplomats, a lot of well-educated people. So you need to be able to keep up in terms of the conversation.
So well educated where they're trying to push for, rights for kids so that way they could do things to them. Are you well versed in that part? I digress. Let's keep it moving.
So be someone who's at least ready to learn, ask questions if you don't know, but you're also quite open-minded in terms of your mind is open to learning new things and exploring the world, okay? Exploring the world. So you need to be kind to yourself, kind to me. You need to be someone who is quite self-aware, a good communicator. You need to be great at communicating. I don't mean calling me all the time, etc. But I mean when you communicate, it needs to be clear, it needs to be concise, it needs to send the message across. Okay. You also, I don't mind someone who has kids. Because and someone who's raised sons, and I think for me I'm at a point where any man who would enter my life now would need to be someone who I would be able to see as a potential father to my son. Why I say this is, you may have your own kids, but you'd need to be also willing and ready to.
So not only do you have to be well educated, well versed on geography, like she says, well versed in the world that she thinks that she's versed in, you also have to be ready to be a father to her son. Kevin Samuels, what he would say, you can't make this shit up. So there might be good men out there that you disqualify because you think they're not concise enough with their communication. Well, here's my question. What happened to your baby father? Were you not concise with your communication before you laid down with him and had a kid? Were you married before? Let's ask some of these questions. And let's see if you're concise on those questions. Because a lot of these things that you're saying don't really even matter. You're just trying to say in so many words that you're so educated. Well, if you're so educated, why you can't figure out how to hold a family down or how to hold a family together? Other women of other ethnicities know how to do this. Since we're throwing jabs.